SDotB, celebrity photographer, my brother. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been a voice for us, for a lot of years. Following, you always followed your passion and used to hip hop and different things. But I know we all appreciate you just caring about us and enough to, kind of capture those moments.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
From jiu-jitsu to TAC-FIT for a lot of years.
So just, whatever you do, you just have to put your all into it, no matter what. That's the only way you can get it done.
How did you get into photography?
So it's crazy because when I first started, I wanted to, this was like during, the MySpace time, 2008 was when I first started. So I had a BMW M3 at the time, which I really loved. And I always wanted like photographs of it because I loved my car so much. And I always used to see photos like on MySpace. People always used to post pictures of their cars.
MySpace days.
Yeah, it's crazy. People were like always posting pictures. So I was like, man, I want some photos of my car. So I was like, the only way I can get it, I'm like, I can't keep hiring like a photographer. So I was like, I'm just going to go and do it on my own.
Figure it out,
so I can get photos whenever I want and I don't have to depend on anyone. So what I did was I just got some money together. I remember it's still like it was yesterday. I got like $700, right? I went to Circuit City. Remember Circuit City? Yeah. Back in the day. This was before Best Buy. So I went to Circuit City. I spent about $650 and I bought a Nikon camera. And then I just started shooting. So me and a friend of mine, Alex Nazari, who plays a big role in my career.
Yeah.
We both went out to like a parking lot on the roof. We started shooting pictures of my car, and then I started messing with the camera at home. I would get like a bowl of fruit or like anything I could find, like a can. So I started shooting, and I just started liking it. I was like, okay, I like this. So then what happened was just randomly, a friend of mine had called me and told me that at the time there was a rapper that I really liked. He was like my favorite artist at the time on MySpace. His name was Your Boy, which he goes by Rich Rocka now. He had called me and told me that, hey, he's here, he's in town, and he told me that he knows him. And I was like, oh, no way, that's crazy. He was like, I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna come, you come pick us up, and then we're gonna go shopping because he wants to go shopping. So I was like crazy. I was like, okay, cool. So we met up. I picked him up. We went out.
Where was he from?
He's from the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah. So Frisco. And then
but he was down here in LA.
He was down here, yeah. And I don't know how my friend knew him, but he just knew him, and then the first person he thought about was me because he knew how much I loved him as an artist. And then he wanted to give me that opportunity to use my photography too for him. So we went out to the store, and then we did a little bit of shopping. He bought some things, and then afterwards he came back to my house, which I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. My parents were home. We're like, they were like all tripping out, like
Armenian
like
family.
Yeah, who's this rapper? And then he came. We just hung out a little bit. We took a few photos. I took a few photos of him. We took photos together. Then I started posting it on MySpace, and then people were like, oh wow, like a lot of people knew him, especially like in Glendale and a lot of my friends. So after that, I started following him everywhere, like all his concerts, all his shows.
How old were you at the time?
This was in 2008, so that was 11 years ago.
Wow.
So I was 21.
21.
Yeah. So I was 21.
Old enough to go somewhere without a fake ID?
Yeah. So it was, I was young, so it was good. I had a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So we started going to like all these shows together. I followed him everywhere, pretty much, like clubs. Like every week, he had something going on because at the time he had like a single that was really big, and it was called "We Run LA." It went like "We Run LA." It was like a big song at the time, so he kept getting booked for a lot of shows. So every like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there would even be days where he had like 2-3 shows. So we go from like club to club. So after that, like I started getting all these photographs of him and doing like photo shoots. So I started posting that on MySpace, and then people started seeing it.
Mm.
And then I started getting like followers, like a bunch of people started adding me on MySpace. But what I did was, I was like, okay, like the time then to now is so different, right? Because it was so much harder back then. Like you really had to actually like network and grind, in person. You know, there was MySpace, but it wasn't like it was now. There's so much more tools now to network, you know, online.
Facebook,
but back
Instagram,
then was like I had to like really like find a way to meet people, and that was I had to go out. So going to all these clubs, I had like a certain goal. So every event I went to or every club I went to, I always told myself I have to at least meet 5 to 10 people that day who will know my name. So that was like a goal I put. You know, I had to like meet 5 to 10 new people.
What were your parents thinking at those times?
I mean, you know how it is. I mean, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" You know, Armenian parents, old school. Yeah. But I was like, this is what I want to do.
You're passionate about it.
Yeah.
You followed your heart.
And then at the time, while I was doing that, I was still working for T-Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was still working for T-Mobile, so I was doing both.
So you had a day
I was
job,
T-Mobile during the day, and then at night it was like going out, me and Alex.
Following your passion.
I was doing the photos, and then Alex would follow me with a big like old school camera, like on his shoulder, you know, everywhere we went. So it's like I would take pictures, and he would follow me with the camera and record video. So we both went everywhere together. And after that, like after I started posting pictures on MySpace, a friend of mine had reached out to me who worked for a magazine company. His name is Buzz. He actually was one of the guys in the beginning who helped me. He started telling me that he wants me to shoot for the magazine, which was called Street Approved. I don't believe it's around anymore.
Is it hip hop
magazine? Yeah, it was a hip hop magazine. So he started inviting me to like events, like red carpet events. So back then the events were different. They actually had like a red carpet where artists would come out to the red carpet and you can take photographs of them. But now it's so different. Now like the artist that's booked for the club goes in from the back. They show up like late. You don't really get to see them. But back then it's like you can meet them. So the first event I went to, Rick Ross was there. Like J-Rock was there. So I got to like meet them and take photos of them. So as I started doing that, I started posting those on MySpace too. So then it kept like people kept like seeing all these artists. Or like, oh, like wow,
that's crazy, huh? Armenian kid and
like the guy from Glendale, you know, like shooting. Yeah. But what I did, the one thing that I did was I had a tag on my photo, like a watermark that said photography by SDotB. So any photo I took, whether it was like of an artist or of just people in the club, I made sure I put my label on it. So when all these people shared it, they would see my name, you know, because so-and-so has a group of friends, right, that follow him. So if my tag is on there, his friends will see it.
Yeah, because everybody calls you SDotB. Yeah, and jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu world.
That's like, it's what everyone started calling me.
Like, what's that? What does that stand for? Serge, Bandaryan, right?
Actually, a lot of people don't even know what it stands for. I forgot to even mention that.
Yeah.
So I still remember this like it was yesterday. I was sitting on my computer chair in my room trying to think of a name. I was like, what can I use? So I wanted to do something with my initials. I was like, okay, I can't just do SB. You know, that'll be too simple.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what if I spell out the dot? Because you know how initials, it's like an S and then there's like a little dot. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to spell it out. So I spelled it out and said it, and it rhymed with photography. I was like, SDotB, photography. I was like, awesome. Okay, that's perfect.
Cool.
I was like, I'm going to go with that.
Nice.
So I started posting that, and people really liked it, you know? It was easy to remember.
Yeah, we all call you SDotB.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't call you Serge.
And actually,
because your real name
came to a point, where people didn't really know my real name.
Serge. Yeah, I don't even know it.
It's my full name is Serge, but everyone calls me Serge.
Right,
you know,
right.
But still at the time, like everyone just knew me as SDotB.
Right.
But so after like that,
most of us here, at
exactly, at the gym too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people here call me Serge, but still,
right.
After seeing me on Instagram so much, they call me by SDotB. So at like all these events and stuff, after that
Rick
Rick
Ross,
Ross, yeah. So after that Rick Ross event, like more things started happening. It's just like, it's like everything was aligned for it to it just artists kept coming after artists.
Yeah, because I've seen you Drake pictures. I mean, like
yeah, like
who's who.
So many artists, but like I like kind of picked certain artists at the time who weren't like big, but I felt would be big. So that's kind of how I did it. I like one artist that I had shot from the beginning that kind of in the beginning that helped a lot with my career was YG. So at the time, he had a lot of tattoos. So I was like, okay, he'll be a cool person to shoot. But I didn't really know who he was. I just liked his look. So I knew he was kind of popular, but I didn't really know who he was. So I had messaged him on Twitter. And at the time, he only had 4,000 followers. So I was like, okay, it'll be easy to, like reach him. So I messaged him. I was like, hey, I want to do a photo shoot for you. That's kind of what I used to do. I never used to get paid for any of these. Yeah. I used to just reach out to people and be like, hey, I want to do a photo shoot because I wanted the relationship. That's what it's all about. Yeah. It's not always about money. You got to build relationships and get your name out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm young. I have some time. Let me sacrifice right now. Let me just build relationship after relationship. So we like met up at an alley in downtown. It's like random, like a random alley. And then we just took some photos, and then I started again posting them on MySpace. And then what I did actually on MySpace that helped me a lot.
What year was my name MySpace? Out there.
2008 is when I had it. Yeah. We had like your top 10. Remember, like
I was
your
fighting.
top 10
I was
friends.
fighting at the time. I remember that UFC.
So what I did was a marketing tool I did on MySpace to help me a lot was, so for example, if I added you as my friend, right, I would go on your page and add all your friends. And then I would go on those people's pages and add all their friends. Yeah. Because my goal was for everyone to see my work. That's what it was.
You were hustling, huh?
I was hustling, yeah.
You're still at T-Mobile?
I was still at T-Mobile. Yeah. But then it was getting to a point where it was becoming much more full-time, So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to quit my job and just focus on photography. And then I decided, and I did. I quit T-Mobile. It's actually at the time when I was working at T-Mobile, I had some artists still come over there, and I met at the location I was working at. Sometimes like celebrities would come. Yeah. I met Keanu Reeves there. I helped him out with his phone. I met LMFAO there. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, they used to have a song called Party Rock.
Yeah, of course.
So I met them there. I helped them out, and they invited me to a show. So I went out to their show. I got to know them a little bit. Again, build a relationship, took photos, and then they invited me again to a show in Palm Springs. And then at that same show, YG was there. So again, I got to see him, build a better relationship. Yeah. So after like shooting all these artists, I started meeting more artists, because like once they see you shoot another artist, right. They want to shoot another artist. After YG, at the time, they had a group.
You laid some real good groundwork, huh? Like
grinding at T-Mobile. Like literally every weekend we would go out. Me and Alex. Like Alex Nazar.
Alex was doing he's more like video.
He was into the video, so I was like, hey, let's do it together.
Yeah.
He did the video portion, I did the photo portion. So it like worked out. And like every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we would go somewhere. Like an event or whatnot.
What are some of the names that you hip hop artists? I've seen the Drake ones. I've seen I've seen so many.
Well, artists I've shot, off the top of my head that I could remember, I've shot Drake, 2 Chainz, J. Cole, Diddy.
Diddy, huh?
Diddy, I've shot. Trying to remember. Travis Scott. Yeah. A$AP Rocky, Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P.
When I saw they used your picture, right, for the funeral.
Yeah, it was crazy. They used a photograph I have of him and YG that I took in 2011. So we did like a video shoot for a song that he was featured on. It was him, Tyga, and YG. So he was on set, and at the time, he wasn't that big yet. He was still coming up. So when I saw him on set, I kind of like pulled him aside when he was like free. So I started photographing some photos of him. I didn't know it was gonna be like those photos. Were gonna end up being classics or whatnot.
Just followed your heart, right?
Yeah. So
stuff that you were like really into it, and
I kind of like I followed my path.
Yeah.
Whatever was thrown at me, I believed it and I followed it. So I just kept going along with it.
We even went to the it wasn't grand opening. It was the Howlin' Rays.
Yeah.
They put that picture up there.
Yeah, I had
pictures, right?
I had the picture of YG and Nipsey Hussle, which is like now it's like kind of considered like a classic photo. Howlin' Rays had used a photo of a picture, the photo of mine that I took of YG and Nipsey Hussle. It's not the same image, but a different image from a different video set that I had shot. And then a friend of mine had tagged me in it, because I didn't. They didn't know whose photo it was. I didn't get credit, but a friend of mine made sure they tagged me in it. And then, like a week later, they had messaged me on Instagram, asking that
Howlin' Rays.
Yeah, Howlin' Rays had messaged me saying that they wanted to use my photographs to display in the store, in their restaurant. So they have these images in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Inside the restaurant, it's like kind of small.
Yeah.
Where they have like a bar area seating, but they have like 3 images against the wall. So they wanted to replace the images and do like a whole Nipsey Hussle thing. So, I just told them,
classic LA.
I love Howlin' Rays. It's my favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
So all my images that I've taken has never been printed. Nothing. No image of mine I have ever printed.
Social media.
It's just always been online. I've had photos published in magazines like Double XL, Source. I've been on like Complex multiple times, but never printed. So this was a first for me. I've been offered like for people that want to purchase my images and stuff. I've always declined it because I'm like, it's my art, like I don't think there's any amount of money that can buy, my photos.
Yeah.
Because that's mine, it's part of my history.
What made you happy about just being a part of that scene? When you're looking back now,
it was fun.
What gave you? What made you happy doing that?
I just loved. It was just really fun, like just going, like always doing things every time, like going on video sets. It was so fun being around so many people, meeting so many new people. It's like being invited to like parties, events. I'm not much of like a party type of guy, but I would go more to network. It's just I had a lot of fun, from meeting so many artists and working with so many artists.
Do you have a favorite moment?
I actually do have. I have multiple favorite moments, but one of my favorite moments would be when I was invited by a friend of mine, who's an artist named AD. He invited me to a studio session with Dr. Dre. So that was like pretty cool, He told me that Dr. Dre wants to meet him, that he liked what he heard.
That's cool.
And AD told me, he's like, if there's one person that I'm going to take with me to this particular session, it's going to be you.
They trusted you.
Because during his career, I was there from the beginning. I heard his music in my car at the Fry's Electronics in Burbank, and I told him, you're gonna be a great artist. As soon as I heard it, so I stuck with him. So he took me with him, and
believed in him.
I was there. This was Dr. Dre was working on a radio show that he has called The Pill, and he wanted AD to be on it to like do a song for the radio show. So it was Dr. Dre, Exhibit, and Battle Cat. So I stood literally behind the studio board for 6 hours. We were there for 6 hours. I didn't move. I just watched them work Like everyone was just quiet, watching them on the microphone, on the board, doing his thing. It was just unbelievable, you know, because it's Dr. Dre. Like how many people in their life
SDotB focus
can say, you know, they've experienced that.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
So it was that was a pretty cool moment. Another pretty like cool moment for me was when I got invited to shoot J. Cole. At that time, for that set, I had fractured my wrist playing basketball. So I had one hand. So I was like, okay, I got to make it work. You know, it's J. Cole. There's no way. It was my favorite artist at the time. Some
things never change, huh?
I was like, you know, I was like, whatever it takes, I have to make it happen, you know? So I went on set. I made it work. I got some pretty cool photos. J. Cole, and this was a record with, at the time he was called D Major, and now he just goes by Major. So it was a song featuring J. Cole. So I was like, that's a good opportunity for me. So I got some cool images of him, got to add him to my portfolio. I was really happy.
Nice.
This is when J. Cole had short hair. He was bald, you know, like every artist I've shot in my portfolio currently were artists that I believed were going to be like big artists. Almost all of them. Like YG, Wiz Khalifa. I shot him before his major single, you know. I shot Kendrick Lamar when he was known as K-Dot. And he was a hype man for J-Rock. At one time, actually, at the time, J-Rock was popular out of the whole TDE group.
How did you what are some of the, how did you know that these guys, what was the feeling you got?
I don't know. Something told me like just the way they moved, the music they made. I just had a feeling like their image, you know, like I believe they can be big, you know. They had popularity at the time, obviously, but they weren't as big as they are now. So like Kendrick Lamar, when I shot him, actually I was trying to shoot J-Rock was the goal to shoot because he was the bigger artist at the time. He had a single with Lil Wayne that was big. So they told me in order for me to shoot him, I have to shoot the other artists around him. So which was Schoolboy Q, Absol, and Kendrick, known as K-Dot at the time. So they invited me to shoot Kendrick and J-Rock at Nickerson Gardens, where J-Rock is from. So that's like the hood, you know?
Yeah.
Dangerous place. So they when they told me the day for the photo shoot, they told me I had to park my car at a gas station or like near a gas station, like a couple miles away, and they would pick me up and take me. I couldn't drive there because it was like dangerous.
What neighborhood was it?
Nickerson Gardens projects. Yeah. So it was like pretty cool. I went there. Everyone was really nice. You know. That actually takes me back to the first time when I first went to Compton, which was like one of like the shoots I did where I was like kind of a little nervous, but not really because I knew I would be good. I did a photo shoot in Compton with New Jersey Devil. And this was in the area that Game grew up, which was Brazil and Wilmington. There was like a canal there that was like really well known. That's where like he shot a big music video at. I think one of his album covers was there too. So that was like my first time in Compton. And then when I was there, every video shoot we've been on has always been cops, like just storming in like the whole team of like cops. Like that Nipsey Hussle video shoot we did with YG. So in the daytime we shot because it was like parted out to a couple of days. So daytime when we shot the video, so how it works is a lot of people don't know, but certain artists aren't allowed in certain neighborhoods.
The police would shut it down.
Try to shut, yeah, that would come because there were so many people.
I thought it was part of this a script. No,
it was like in the neighborhood. You know, it was in the hood. So, and like, oh, what are all these group of people doing? Every single time, like at that Nipsey Hussle and YG shoot, in the daytime when we shot it. So certain artists, I like to explain so people kind of have an understanding. Certain artists aren't allowed in certain neighborhoods, you know, because like their gangs don't get along. So at night during that video shoot, when it came to nighttime, we went to shoot and finish the video. In the neighborhood we were in, like the OG of that neighborhood, they all came, like a group of them. They came and they unplugged all our stuff, our lights, and threatened us like, what are you guys doing here? Get out of here. You guys are not supposed to be here. We're like, you know, everyone's like, damn, what do we do? You know, like, so we just waiting, let them know like who we're shooting for and what, they still didn't care or whatever. I mean, but you know, we left and then we continued the next day. And then another video shoot that we did, which was with Meek Mill and YG. During the video shoot, like all these cops came, right? And they were like, we're gonna give you guys 1 hour to wrap it up and get out of here. After 1 hour, like they brought the whole team, everything. And during that, like during when all the cops came, a guy started running, you know, on set. And I think he had like a gun on him. So cops started shooting. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, you know, people started like scattering. Everyone was like running away. I was like, oh damn, we got to get out of here. So like every video shoot we did would like end like that. Even when I was in Compton, like helicopters came, cops came, like, what are you guys doing here? And they would always try to like kick us out or like I would go to Compton and like a cop would like just pull up on me as I'm walking and be like, try to get me to say things, you know? Like, oh, what are you guys doing here? Like, oh, you know, like just ignore them, you know? Yeah. And at that neighborhood I was at in Compton, I couldn't even cross the street to the liquor store because just on the other side is like the opposite people's gang, you know, and I can't go there by myself. Like people don't even stop at the red light.
What are some of the worst some worst moments, you know? Talk about the best.
One time I did a photo shoot in Compton with a couple guys there, and then there's, you know, they always have a bunch of people like friends there. I had photographed some guy there, and then I found out the next day he got killed. I was like, that's crazy, you know? Like things like that would happen. Like I've worked with so many artists that got murdered, people that I photographed that like friends that got killed, you know? So it's like that kind of would make me think twice, you know, about going out there. But I didn't really care, you know, because I wanted it so bad, you know, like the photography. Yeah. Because that was my passion, you know. That's all I had. I had
especially them.
Yeah. So
hip-hop,
I mean, they never would do anything to like us because
right.
You know, we're not affiliated.
But still, like, man, what
am I
doing here?
Yeah. One time they actually took me to like a party in Nickerson Gardens. It's like I'm the only Armenian there. Like everyone's dressed in like all red. And then I walk in, like everyone's staring at me. I mean, people were cool, but still it's dangerous, you know? But, you know, nothing ever happened. So it was cool, you know?
Speaking of that, I saw a video of you a while back. You were the only white guy in the mix, you know, it was a clothing brand.
Yeah. So
how did that, you got into, later on you got into clothing, right?
Yeah. So while doing photography, I started like making my own merch for my clothing brand. I mean, for my photography brand, just like my logo on t-shirts and hoodies and whatnot. Because after I started like shooting all these artists like Tyga and Chris Brown, because these artists have like a big following, you know, like a lot of kids like them. Yeah. So they started following me, like all their fans started becoming like fans of mine. So like I started getting like so many emails after like my photography thing started getting like popular. I started getting so many emails from like kids like telling me that, you know, like you inspire me. I started getting emails from kids that were doing school projects on me, you know, stuff like that. And then like I would walk on the street and people would like stop me and want to take pictures with me. And I'll be like, that's like, you know, like me. Like I'm not anyone famous, you know. I just like
At these hip hop events or
like anywhere. Like I would be like at the mall, or I would be like out in downtown LA or whatever, shooting, and people would see me or like tweet me like, "Hey, I saw you," like doing the photo shoot. So it started becoming like pretty cool, you know. I was like, my stuff's getting out there, yeah. So I started doing the merch, and then people were buying it like worldwide. People were buying my logo tees worldwide and sending me photos in it, which was pretty cool, you know. So then I met like a friend of mine at the time who had a clothing company, and then I was gonna do my own clothing brand, but he said, let's do it together. So I was like, okay, you know, maybe it's better if I do it with another person. So we did it. It's for me, it's either you go big or go home, you know, like you're either all in or you're just a visitor.
All in.
Yeah, you're either all in or you're just visiting, you know?
Yeah.
Like everything you do, you have to go hard. Like eventually, if you believe it, it'll happen. You know, there's no way you won't succeed at it if you try your hardest. It's there's no way, you know? So I just said right off the bat, I was like, let's open a store. You know? Instead of just doing it on, I was like, I want to open a store. So we opened the store. And this was like in the 3rd month of the year. So we opened the store.
What year was this?
2012, I believe, is when we started the clothing company.
Okay.
Is when I joined it. So we opened the store, you know, because I believed in it.
And
I knew what I was capable of.
Khloe Kardashian wearing some of the. Is that the same? Yeah. Yeah.
So what I did was, I was like, okay, all the artists I work with that I shoot, I'm gonna get them to wear the clothes. You know, like it was smart. I was like, okay, but I had to do it in a certain way where I wasn't asking for things, because you have to kind of be careful with artists, because if you ask for too much, you know, like you don't want it to be about that. So what I would do was,
like, you're using them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that. So what I would do is give like clothes to their friends, like their closest friend or their security. And that's when they would wear it around the artist. So then the artist would see it and be like, oh, what is that? And they would want it. So like that was the way I gave it, you know? I didn't go directly to the artist and give it to him or her.
It came from them.
I wanted them to want it.
Yeah.
So they started wearing the stuff. I had like NBA players wearing it. Kevin Durant, James Harden. We had all these rappers wearing it. 2 Chainz, French Montana, Chris Brown. I can't even, so many people, you know. We were on like people wearing our stuff on radio tours. Actually, it's fun. Yo Gotti wore one of our designs, one of our like sweatsuits on a radio tour, and he had that LA logo on it. And every radio station posted it. And we received a cease and desist letter from MLB. I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, like, like MLB, you know,
I made it.
Yeah, like MLB knows who we are.
You got a cease and desist letter. You're like,
I was like, that's cool.
Big time.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm not mad at that.
The MLB's paying attention.
Exactly. I was not mad at that. So nice. It was cool. Yeah. So the clothing brand kept like growing. The first year, I believe like the first 9 months,
Major League Baseball is paying attention to SDotB.
Yeah. So it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
The first 9 months, we sold $100K in clothing.
Wow.
You know? That's how much I knew how strong it could be, you know? But the way we did that is we had a lot of our friends wear it, which is the key. The key is to get your friends to support you, right? You have to just have everyone believe, you know, like your movement. So we would go out to like clubs with like 20 of us at a time, and everybody would be wearing the gear, and that's how we got it out there. So, you know, the rappers, and then we got the clothes to Khloe, and then Khloe and Rob, and Khloe ended up wearing it on the Kardashians for about like 4 or 5 episodes. So that like helped a lot. Another artist that helped a lot with the clothing was Chris Brown, you know, a friend of mine knew him. I mean, I knew him too, but not that well. But I got invited to the studio session, and I took him some clothes. He wore it on the spot, you know, like right there. Took his shirt off, put my shirt on of the clothing company and the hat. We took photos together, and like after that particular item like sold out, you know, just because Chris Brown wore it.
So you went from photography, celebrity photography, to merchandise, to creating a brand. And then how did the jiu-jitsu thing happen?
So while I was still doing the clothing company and still doing my photography,
I know we were around the corner, right?
Yeah. So we ended up having to expand from our store to a warehouse because we needed the space. We didn't have any more room because we actually started wholesaling our stuff, and we were in like 75 stores. So we needed space to store our stuff in a bigger location. So we ended up getting a warehouse right here, you know, by Legacy, like down the street. It had like a photo studio in it too, so it was like perfect. So every time I would pass by and see, you know, like mixed martial arts, I was like, okay. At the time, I had gained weight. I would always fluctuate, you know, up and down.
Did you ever do martial arts when you were younger?
I had done like a little bit of boxing for like a couple months, but nothing major.
Serious,
Yeah. So I saw the gym. I was like, okay, it's time for me to lose some weight because I didn't want to go to like a regular gym, you know. I wanted to actually like learn something while losing weight. So I walked in to the gym, and I inquired, and I came in. I took my first class, and then you know, like I met you. So after I met you, remember I was like, I want to do a photo shoot for you.
Yeah.
I still remember that day. I was kind of nervous to ask you. I don't know why, but I asked you. I was like, hey, let's do a photo shoot, and you were like, let's do it. So we did a photo shoot, and from there, you know, we started building like a relationship. Yeah. So as I started building a better relationship with you and coming to the gym and training, I started working, right? Doing more things. We started doing more things together.
You never missed. How many days when you first started?
I think I came over 30 days straight.
Okay.
Yeah, over 30 days straight.
Okay. That's what it was.
So
okay.
yeah, I didn't miss a day.
Yeah.
I was even doing like
Monday through
twice
Sunday.
a day,
Yeah,
every day. Every day I was training, so I was dedicated.
Yeah. I was telling you, take it easy. You're like,
yeah.
Okay. And then you'd show up the next day.
I didn't know, you know, it was new to me.
Sure.
I didn't know what, but
then you had to finally
I finally had to take a rest day. You know, I needed it. But as we started doing more things together, you know, I wanted to be more involved because I loved the gym.
Yeah.
And I was so good at like branding and there was things I saw that I could make the place better. So I started, you know, like suggesting things like, let's change this, let's do this, let's make it big, let's grow the brand, you know? Like it's all about growing the brand, making it bigger, you know, helping out. It's all about team. If there's no team, there's nothing, you know? It's going to be very hard. If you don't have a team, you're going to have a very hard time. You know, it's not impossible, but it helps to have a team. So I started training. As I started training jiu-jitsu, I like fell in love with it, you know? I went on like a crazy diet, super strict. I did 80 days with no cheat meal, you know? So I lost a ton of weight. I went from like 190 to 145, you know? And
remember that phase.
Yeah. So I went to 145 and I liked that weight. So I kept it at that.
You time your meals, you prepare your meals.
Yeah, I was prepping doing meal preps, eating super clean. You know, I felt good every morning. I woke up, I like felt real good. So I started back in January, it'll be 4 years since I've been doing martial arts. I started in January, and then I just kept training. You know, kept sticking to it. It started. It then eventually became my life. You know, full time, because with the clothing company, you know, things didn't work out with my partner. We just had different goals, you know. So that didn't work out. So I moved on. I started to fall in love with martial arts, because that's what literally
First jiu-jitsu, and then
that's what like
Muay
saved
Thai,
me, you
then
know.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu was my first love, and then finally, the guys in the Muay Thai side got me to the Muay Thai. So after I started doing Muay Thai, I was
Coach
like,
Andy.
oh wow, yeah, Coach Andy kept telling every day I would go like to the other side in the other room where Muay Thai was to drink water at the water fountain. They would say, hey man, you gotta come. I would always say, I will. Then I finally did a class, and then I loved it. So I then transitioned into doing awesome Muay Thai. And that's also been a big part of my life. So like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai has been what I've been doing full time every day. That's like all I think about all day long. And then as I started training more and more, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. You know, like martial arts is what I want to do. I think I found photography is definitely my passion, but I think I was like, I found my true passion, like the complete passion. Photography was part of it, but I didn't feel it was complete yet. When the clothing thing didn't work out for me, like the business portion of it, it kind of crushed me. But I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. Follow the path. And I did, you know, I was like, okay, there's a reason why it went this way. All that happened to lead me to here, you know, to martial arts.
Make a clean break, huh?
Yeah, like I needed that.
Restart.
Like all the things I did with photography, all the fun I had, all the people I met, all the places I went to, all the experiences I had, all the clothing things I did. All that was good because I met a lot of people. It built a brand for me, you know. I gained a big following from it, which still I use today because I started doing, because of martial arts, I decided I want to do personal training. So I remember I was like, you remember you're telling me to do it, you know. I kept procrastinating, you know. I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, for people like if you like our stuff, huh? It's SDotB. SDotB work that you're wearing or that you like, if you like what you see.
Yeah.
It's all your head, your brain.
Exactly. So I was like
designing the stuff, your experience. So we always appreciate not only our pictures, right, that we get, but also the merchandise that we get to wear that I'm wearing today.
Yeah, so I was like,
of course, we have amazing artists and stuff too, right? That
oh,
train at the
definitely.
Gym, you know?
I did. So, I was doing all the photographs, right, at the gym, and then designing all the clothes. You know, yeah. I loved it. I just wanted, for me, it was about building a brand. You know, like I didn't care about. I've never cared about money. You know, I've never made money make me who I am, because it's bigger than that. Life is way bigger than that. A lot of people, it takes a long time for people to realize that, but like money will never make you, you know, like there's a lot of things you can't buy.
It doesn't make you happy. I've known you now for 4 years now.
Money is cool, but
we've spent a lot of time together, and as long as I've known you, you've been just investing in people.
Yeah, like
investing in people,
me,
investing in me,
exactly,
investing in you know, other people like around you. I've just seen that. I've watched. Yeah,
you just have to like,
and so
believe in the movement, you know.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't believe in like their friends' movements, you know. They just, it's just normal, like for people to respond negatively when someone wants to do something.
Right,
like,
right.
If someone says, I want to become a photographer, their friends will be like, oh, you want to do that too? Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be willing to like support. You have to support. It's huge. Like, supporting makes a world of a difference. Like, you have to be mindset is everything. For me, that's like huge for me, you know? Mindset is like the biggest thing for me. Like, that's why with photography, I went so far with photography, because I believed in it, you know. Like, I know
with nothing, right?
Yeah, I knew. I started from
taking pictures
of fruit
yeah.
to shooting the biggest artists in the world. You know, who would have ever thought that?
Yeah.
But that's because I believed, you know. I knew
You followed
if
your
I
heart.
put in the work, it will come, you know?
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to, it takes time, you know, like a lot of people want things overnight, but it's never going to happen overnight. You have to be willing to sacrifice. And I knew for years I didn't make money. For years I didn't make money. There was times where we started shooting videos. Every weekend we were doing the music video. I did not make $1. And I was on set for 24 hours. This was twice a week. Imagine, I was on set working for 24 hours. I didn't make $1. But I knew that in the future, this would make,
that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
You invest, right?
Like
and
we
no
were
matter what
shooting.
you're doing, if you're doing something you love, right? It's not work, right?
It's not work. You have to just put in the work and people will follow.
You're learning,
you know?
you're learning,
Yeah.
you're learning, you're learning, you're learning. You're logging in those hours.
You have to just, yeah, exactly. You have to put in the time. We would do video shoots. Like we would find just places we can do. Like we did a video shoot with YG. I couldn't even believe, like I look back now and I'm like, that's crazy, you know? We did a video shoot for YG in my friend's backyard. Because we didn't have a location, you know? We didn't have money to pay for a location. No, it was like somewhere in the valley.
Okay.
He had a pool.
Okay.
So we wanted to do like a pool party. So we're like, hey, let's use your house, you know? Like YG like gave us like, at the time, you know, he wasn't a major artist yet.
Yeah.
He was like giving us money, like pulling it out of his pocket, like $500 just to pay for certain things, you know? So it's cool that I got to experience all these things. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Like being in the hip hop industry helped me like really grow and see things, you know? It definitely
Different perspective too, probably, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to see like good and bad. I got to like really see how some people are. Like you come across good people and then you come across bad people, you know? In that industry is very cutthroat, you know? And I think that's the one thing I didn't like that much that kind of made me want to get out because a lot of people would use you in that industry, you know? And for me, it's always like, stay humble, you know? Like work hard, stay humble. Like that's a big a quote of mine that I always stand by, you know? You just have to let your work speak for itself, you know? And back then, like rappers would like make you wait hours, you know?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't care about your time. Not everyone, but some people would do that, and those kind of things would like, you know, upset us. And but then I got to work with
Armenian, like it's about, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's all about
respect
and honor, you know,
yeah.
like I mean, but then again, there's artists that I work with that I loved, like Chainz. I love him. He's always been so good to me, you know. Professional. There was a time we were on a video set with Chainz, and every video set you go to the other photographers there, you know, like at least 3 or 4. I still remember this. He said it out loud, announced it. I want every photographer who's here to leave except SDotB. I was like, you know, I looked up, I was like, what? Oh, that's pretty cool, you know? I was because
he felt your energy, he felt your
vibe,
yeah.
He was we were the first ones to do his first music video as Chainz. So we did his first music video as Chainz. And then from then on, we did all his other music videos, most of his music videos, and I was always there. We were there on set for hours, you know, like putting in work for him, and we weren't making $1. One time I went to New York. We got hired for a video. We went to New York for 30 days. We stayed at like this crappy like apartment. Like the carpet was all wet. It was like 5 of us and 1 bed. You couldn't sleep on the floor because it was wet, you know? So it was tough, you know? For 30 days I was there. I made not $1. I didn't make $1. But I didn't care, you know? Yeah. At that time, I didn't care. Yeah. It was just about putting in the work.
Where does that drive come from?
I'm just a very, like, I'm just very passionate about it and everything.
Where does that passion,
you know?
Where does that come from?
People around me, you know, my parents, you know, like I seen my dad, you know, come here from Armenia and not know any English and grind, you know, sell cars to make money and then open a business. Started from selling cars, you know, grinded, you know, put the passion in, put the work in, sacrificed for us. and then opened a whole shop for car parts, you know, and then ended up buying us a house for the family, you know, a car. He bought my M3, like, you know, straight up at the dealership. He like paid for like 80% of it down, you know, like that's how my dad was. Like, he worked to like take care of us, you know, and so like that drives me. That makes me want to be like that too, you know. I'm like, okay, I gotta work hard. I gotta grind, you know, sacrifice.
How has jiu-jitsu made you a better person?
Oh, jiu-jitsu has literally changed my life. Like, it's made me realize and see a lot of things differently. It's made me much more humble. It's built better character. It's matured me. That's a big part. I've met so many good people through jiu-jitsu. It's made me realize how important a relationship is with someone.
How has it matured you?
It's just made me make better decisions and think clear, you know? Like, for example, if a conflict were to happen in public because of jiu-jitsu, it's made me avoid it. You know, like, I think about jiu-jitsu. If anything happens, I always think about jiu-jitsu. I'm like, if this conflict happens and I get hurt or if I get in trouble, I won't be able to train jiu-jitsu, you know? That's like, that stops me from doing a lot of like things, you know? It makes me think twice. Jiu-jitsu has made me think twice about like continuing in like, if a conflict or whatever, if, you know, if someone says something, jiu-jitsu has made me walk away because I'm like, it's
not worth it.
It's not worth it because I have so much better things going on for me, you know? Like a road rage, whatever, you know, people on the, I have nothing to prove.
Yeah, you prove it on the mat every day.
I have nothing to prove to no one, you know? I come here every day. I put in the work. You've seen what I do in jiu-jitsu.
We gave you the 2019 TMF belt.
I mean,
they have the BMF belt, right? Yeah, the TMF
toughest.
belt.
I mean, it's just who I am, you know, like as an Armenian.
Yeah.
I like, heart is like everything to me, you know, on the mat. I remember at the time, when I went to New York, I got my pec torn.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't like to give up, you know, like a lot of people tell me you should tap, you know, but it's not who I am, you know. I know how far I know I know when to tap, you know, or when it's too much for me. But like for me, it's like a lot of people say, oh, you should live to fight another day. For me, it's not like that. For me, it's I'm fighting till the death that day because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. You know, I want to give it my all.
Everybody's different. Different.
That day is like
everybody's different.
I trained with one arm for 4 months. You remember? I trained with one arm. I tucked my other arm in, and
so you tore your pec.
I tore my pec. I got injured, and I could have easily been like, I'm gonna take a month off. You know, that would have been the easy route. But I decided that
the week later.
I came back in a week later.
Yeah.
I said, you know what?
And use that.
Everything happens for a reason again.
Use that setback to. You actually, I
used it as a positive.
Yeah, your jiu-jitsu.
So
went through the roof.
I started training with one arm, which made me better. So because once I got my second arm back, it was like having an extra arm. So it made my jiu-jitsu much better. And then that's when I got my first stripe on my blue belt. For the 4 months of my one arm training, I was like submitting, you know, people with one arm. Yeah. Because I was the underdog. People were like doubting me, you know, because I had one arm. So it just made me like jiu-jitsu made me so much tougher, you know, like confidence level, like, you know, it just made me like feel, it made me into a man. You know, that's like what jiu-jitsu did to me. Yeah. It's done so much for me. That's why like, and you have done so much for me, you know, like you came into my life and changed it. You introduced me to martial arts, and I can say you're the one person that no matter what I've wanted to do, you've stood behind. Like, you stood behind everything I wanted to do. If I said I want to be a painter tomorrow, you would support me.
Yeah, you're good at everything you do.
You would,
everything you put your mind to.
You would tell me, well, if I started like if I started any
I'll
company,
be real. If it didn't make sense, I would think about it. And
yeah,
I'll give
yeah.
you my
But you would
opinion.
still support me.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
what you wanted to do.
if I started a company where I was selling,
that's part of the journey,
yeah,
right? If
exactly,
maybe it's
you
the
have to
wrong
support.
thing, but
if I started a
you'll
company
learn
selling
if it's
markers,
not, yeah.
you'd be like, where can I buy it? Where can I buy some? You know? Oh, everything I've done, same with my personal training. Like, you were the only person who pushed me, you know, that told me every week, you would tell me, when are you going to start? When are you going to start? You know, I kept saying, I'll start. And then finally, I did it, you know? Like, you let me use, you know, your academy to do my personal training. That's huge, you know? That's like, because you believe in me, you know, you want bigger things for me.
Yeah,
you
man.
don't,
Yeah.
you want to see me grow. You
Yeah.
want to, you know, it's not about money. Again, it comes like, it's not about money. It's about growth, you know?
Yeah. Helping people be their
Helping
best.
people out.
Yeah.
You have to help people out.
Man, let's go back one step. Like you did jiu-jitsu, and then you started Muay Thai, and you started excelling in that. What has Muay Thai done for you?
Muay Thai has,
What has it done for you? Jiu-jitsu, what has it done for you?
it's helped my jiu-jitsu for sure, because it's a different style, you know? So it's like, it works a different part of the body. So it's made me stronger in other places, you know, like my legs have gotten, like, it's helped me in different places. Muay Thai, what mainly Muay Thai has done for me that stands out the most for me is the relationships it's built from it. My jiu-jitsu has, like, all my friends now that I currently, like, have a relationship with the most came from jiu-jitsu. Like, people always ask me this question: what do you like better, Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu? And I like both a lot, but I say jiu-jitsu. There's a reason why I say jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu was like my first love with martial arts, and it's built amazing relationships for me, you know? It's bigger than just martial arts, you know? It's all my friends it's everything it's done for me. It's like, it's different. Now, Muay Thai has done stuff for me too, definitely, you know? It's helped with my personal training a lot, because a lot of my personal training revolves around Muay Thai. But the friends I've got from Muay Thai is huge. Like, one of my current best friends I met from Muay Thai, you know, and he's also my training partner, you know, Jojo. So that's like huge. Coach Andy, built a better relationship with him. He's taught me a lot, you know. It's taught me to be an even better martial artist, you know. And a lot of people ask me this since I was in the hip hop industry, and I like to, like, make it clear. Since I used to go to so many parties, clubs, and whatever, I don't smoke or drink. So I like to put that out there. I like to be a true martial art. I'm a true martial artist, and I do fitness and I train martial arts for real.
You
like,
never did.
I have obviously had alcohol before, but I don't drink alcohol. You know, I don't smoke. I've never smoked a cigarette.
Not even Armenian parties, family parties.
Nowhere. Like, it just
a toast to the grandparents.
I mean, they try to get me to do it, but it's so difficult to say no.
For your dad.
But it's I don't. You know, it's like it's just not a part of who I am. Yeah. So
yeah, you really live it. For
I really live it. You know, in order for you to
and
like
people feel it. People feel it.
So when you do something, you like I was saying, you have to like do it full on and be full on passionate about it. Like, people on social, you know, on social media, like everything's social media now. Everything's Instagram. Back then, I didn't really there was no Instagram. So now Instagram is such a big tool, you know. That's actually where most of my business comes from, Instagram. So people know when you're faking something, you know, like, people can tell. People can really see and know if you do something for real or if you're not, you know. They can see. Like, I've asked people, like, what do you guys think of, like, what I do from the outside, because I see it different than someone else does. And the answer I've always gotten from people was that you look like you really love what you do, you know, that you're really passionate. And it's crazy for people that have never met me to see that through social media is big, you know. It's like, that's how I know, like, it's real, you know. It's not, I don't fake it. Like, I train for real, you know. I put I get off the mat every time I train jiu-jitsu. I leave the mat with bloodshot eyes, spitting out blood,
TMF belt,
hands torn up. You know, like, I go, like, I really train till I can't stand anymore. Like, that's what I love, you know, like, you have to give it your all.
Nobody can take that away from you.
Like, and people tell me, like, it's not about winning or losing, that I know, but I don't do it to win, but I just set my mind to something and I do it. Like, if you have something, a goal to work towards, you know, you can't just do something just to do it. You have to set a goal. You have to, you know, you have to have something to work towards. So that's how I've always been, you know. Everything I've done, I've gotten, like, I've went all out, you know, because it's the only way to succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, so you're a personal trainer now, and I see you, I watch you every day and doing an amazing, because you care, right? You really care about
absolutely, you know,
students or clients, whatever you want to call
absolutely.
them. You know?
Absolutely.
Your friends, you know. So I guess what's your intent? What's your goal when working with your clients?
For me, it's bigger than just training people. A lot of people are trainers, you know. Anyone can train people and help them lose weight. You know, it's like the easy part of it as a trainer. But for me, it's bigger than that. I want to help people not only get in shape, but for me, it's mental. I want to help build someone's mind, you know, mindset. A stronger mind, because that's so huge in life, you know. Like, if you have a stronger mindset, you can do great things, you know. I know, because I've done it. I've experienced it. There's places where I've tested it out, where I've had a killer mindset and I've excelled at that particular thing. And there's times where I had like a relaxed mindset and I didn't excel as much, you know? So for me, it's about making all my clients stronger, like here and in the mind, you know, because
in the heart and the mind.
It's big, you know, like
it's everything.
And I have been doing that, and I've been getting feedback from a lot of my friends and clients that have been telling me like, hey, like, you've helped me grow into a man, you know?
Yeah.
Like tougher.
Yeah.
Like more confidence.
Yeah.
Like when you walk every day, when you walk on the street, or when you go somewhere with like your wife or girlfriend or friends, like you want to feel like really confident, you know? Like that's big. And I think that helps with everything. It helps you make better decisions, you know, like
in work or family.
Everything. Like your work will get better, you'll make more money, you know, if you have a better mind, a clearer mindset, because you make better decisions, you'll work harder, you'll have a healthier relationship with your wife, you know, or girlfriend. And those are my goals. Friends, exactly.
Better relationships.
Exactly. You know, it's like a big part of, I know that's something you're big into, relationships, you know? So that's my main goal with my clients, is to help them mentally. I think for me, more obviously the getting in shape part, but more so mentally, because I just want to open up people's minds more, you know, like in everything they do. I want to support them, like especially if they have like their own business, you know, like I want to help them.
For sure. Like you've always done.
Yeah. Like entrepreneurship.
Since your photography days.
Yeah. Everything I've done, like in the last 11, like since 2008, has been like my own business, you know, like a lot of people complain about there's no jobs, you know, but what are you really doing about it? You know, like I created my own job. I created it on my own. You know, I trained martial arts for 4 years and I became a personal trainer. Like I created that gig for myself, you know, like I didn't go fill out a job application and wait for someone to call me. Like I went out and got it on my own, you know, I created it for myself. And that's like, anyone could do that. Everyone could do that. You don't, Like you just have to
kind of live in the best time of the history of mankind, right?
Yeah, you just have to put in you have to create your own opportunities because other people are not going to do it for you.
Align your stars.
Yeah, no one's gonna. If you sit around and wait, and you say my time will come, it's not gonna come. It's like, come on, like let's be realistic. You have to go after. You have to go after it and get it on your own. And I mean, I understand a lot of people don't know where to start. That's like a lot of people do come to me for tips, for like starting their own business, because of my experience with it. And you just have to, it's about, like branding and you just have to come up with a business, do the work, believe in it. If you can't go into the business with doubts, you have to believe in it 100%. And yes, it's going to be tough at first. You might not make any money. You might not, you might start like a company where you're selling products. You might not sell one product, for the first year, but that doesn't mean you should give up. If you truly believe in it, it'll happen.
Stay the course.
Like I didn't start with 15 clients, I started with one.
Yeah.
I started with one. I believed in it. And then I posted it on my Instagram, and I started getting more clients. Within like a month, I had a fully booked schedule.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In a month, like it's because I branded myself. You have to brand yourself. It's all about branding yourself and putting out content consistently. That's the key. Is being consistent. Like this is one I want to tell everyone. Like a big thing is consistency. You can't be consistent for a month and then stop for a month and then get back. If you do something, you have to be consistent.
Right on, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your passion. I appreciate your you're always helping people, become their best, So it's been really cool that it's been what 4 years,
4 years.
That we've been kind of together for a lot, almost every day.
Every day, pretty much, yeah. I'm here every day, so
but just to kind of see you grow too in the martial arts, and but just also kind of follow your, hear your story from back whatever 10, 11 years, and you've always invested in people and help people be their best, so I really appreciate what you do for me, and what you do for everybody here at Legacy, every single day. I know we all appreciate it, and now you the personal training and helping people be their best through that, and it's really cool to hear you talk about how you wanted to change your mindset, and really that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it's all about mindset. Like everything's mindset. If you have the right mindset, you can accomplish anything you want.
Yeah, so
like literally straight up.
So thank you, man. And how can people find you?
My Instagram, SDotB.
SDotB.
That's where most people, follow me.
Yeah.
Facebook too.
Okay.
Which is my name, Serge Bandaryan, and then that's pretty much mainly. I have Twitter too, but I mainly use my Instagram. That's where all my content I post up of my personal training daily and my daily training. I am consistent. I post many videos of me training. So that's just what it's about: being consistent, being your best, helping people, and
That's it.
grind. You have to grind. That's it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. It's pretty cool. It's this is actually the first time ever that I've spoken on like a podcast or a lot of people that follow me have never actually heard me speak, because I've never done an interview. Crazy, right? 11 years working with so many like celebrities and to never do like
talking your history.
Yeah, to never speak out. Yeah, talk about the journey. This is the first time ever, and what better place was it for me to do it on your show? Yeah, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.